Hey everybody, it's Thursday, April 18th, and we're back for more Weeds and Wisdom. I hope you guys are having a good day. We are having interesting weather under a severe thunderstorm watch, but I don't know. It's like all around me, so if things get weird, you'll just have to know that it was the weather. But I think I'm okay. I don't think we're going to have too many problems. And I am ready to talk about some fun stuff. Are you guys ready? Before we get started, I want to remind you that the replays for these sessions are uploaded to the Crooked House Herbals YouTube channel, so you can go through and you can always go back and refresh your memory or watch one that maybe you missed, an episode that you missed or whatever. And also, if you have any questions, if you have any requests, or anything that you'd like me to address from week to week, these sessions go for 9 weeks. You can email me at wendy@crookedhouseherbals.com. You can message me on the Crooked House Herbals Facebook page. And if you've got my phone number, you can text me or whatever, and I will put together stuff for, from week to week, whatever you guys are looking for. I have a couple of really fun herbs to talk about this week, and without further ado, I guess we'll just jump into it. I did have one person ask me about whether or not we were going to go ahead and do another detox weekend. Getting ready for another one already, and I'm game. I need somebody to let me know when the full moon is, because I have not checked that out, and I'm on my cell phone, so I can't look. Oh wait, I can do it this way. I'll look on the pewter. Let's just look. My internet is running very slowly. I'm glad I'm on my phone, because I don't know that I could do this if I had to rely on my internet right now. Okay, the moon phases. Let's look. Oh goodness, that's not what I want at all. I don't need merchandise. I need the real thing. 2024. Okay. Let's look. Hope you guys are doing well. Right now we are in a waxing moon, and so our next full moon is the 23rd, which is this weekend coming up, I guess, right? Today's the 18th, right? So if you are interested in doing another detox weekend coming up this weekend, then send me an email, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you need to order a detox kit. They're on the website. The detox kits are on the website. You can go ahead and order that, but you'll need to do it. You almost probably missed the window, because shoot. Let me look at my calendar. Just a second here. We could do it on the new moon, which would be just as advantageous, which we may have to do, only because, I'll tell you what, if you want to do it this weekend and you have what you need, send me an email and let me know, and we'll go ahead and do it. If you don't have what you need and you need to wait until the 7th, the weekend of the 7th, or around the 7th, then we can do that, and I will get the little detox kits out to you, so you'll have everything you need for that, and can move forward with it. Yeah, because the 7th is actually on a Tuesday, and that's the new moon. So we could do it then, or we can do it on the 23rd, which is also a Tuesday. So you have a little bit of time. If you want to order within the next day or two, I don't even know what day it is. Today's Thursday. Yeah. if you can get it to me tonight or tomorrow, if you want the detox kit, I'll get them out, and you should be able to have it by Tuesday. And Tuesday is the full moon. So make a decision on that. Let me know, and I will put that together. But I need to know, like in the next 24 hours, what you need so that I can get that out to you, because you know our trusty mail. It is what it is, right? Okay, let's talk about, I brought some in to show you. Let's talk about goat's rue. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? There's its little flower. This is what it looks like. It's pretty tall. Mine is really tall. And the reason that I decided to talk about this with you is because I have so much. And last year I didn't have any. Not out where this is. My entire east pasture paddock area is filled with this, and it's up to past my knees. So it's like, well, there must be a lot of need for this time, because you know how I believe God always gives me whatever it is I need for whoever needs it. So we're going to talk about goat's rue first. And if I have it, then more than likely, if you live in Arkansas, or especially if you live up in my area, you've got it too. You just need to look for it. Now, it's got an interesting folklore along with it too, but it also goes by a lot of different names. It goes by French honeysuckle. It goes by a bunch of names that you can't pronounce, and it got its goat's rue name. One of the stories behind it is that it used to be, they used to give it to the goats to increase their lactation when they were milking, because it does contain a hormone. It contains it acts like a hormone that does stimulate milk production. So but don't confuse this with the other kind of rue. You know, those of you that have come to my property when I lived in the Hot Springs area, and you saw all this rue that I had growing everywhere, and I would purposely plant it all around my different beds, because it attracts the unwanted insects, and they'll all go to the rue plant and leave your other stuff alone. That's not the rue we're talking about. This rue looks like this, okay? So look around for it. I found, I have a whole field of it, but I also found some growing in and around my cleavers, where my cleavers has come up. So check it out and see what you've got. Okay, you're gonna use the aerial parts of the plant, which is all the stuff above ground. The roots, you don't want the roots, okay? There's a lot of saponins in these plants, so if you eat the wrong part of it, then a lot of times you will get a stomach ache. It's not going to make you sick and die, but it's not pleasant. So you don't want to eat the roots of the plants. Neither one of these plants that we're going to talk about tonight. Leave the roots alone. Just use the aerial parts. It is used for diabetes, and it's used as a diuretic. It's used for pancreatic conditions. It's used for liver problems. It lowers blood sugar, and it's a really good blood purifier, which makes sense from what I've told you. Sorry, my thing just fell over. In the past, I've told you, you have spring herbs for a reason, you have fall herbs for a reason, you have, the summer herbs, and the spring herbs are tonic herbs, and they come up in the spring to cleanse your blood and to bring you out of the winter state, you know. I used to call it the winter funk, but I guess that's not a real good word for it. When you're slowing down, you're usually eating heavier types of foods, and you're not moving around as much, and your whole system is in a different state. So when springtime comes, it's time to cleanse. It's time to purify. It's time to detox. And goat rue is a blood cleanser. So now we can add that to our list of other blood cleansers that we know, like red clover and burdock and yellow dock and all these things that come up in the springtime. Okay, so let's talk about goat rue a little more. All right. It decreases blood sugar levels. So this would not be something that you would want to take or, you know, have in your body if you already have low blood sugar. Okay, if you are hypoglycemic or whatever, you need to be careful with goat rue. I mean, it would probably take quite a bit to send you over the edge, but only you know that. So if you have low blood sugar, this is probably not the one for you. If you have high blood sugar, then, you know, if you're diabetic, or if you're taking insulin, or if, you know, if you're up in that realm, then goat's rue would be something you might want to investigate. Just like with any other situation, you're going to want to watch out, and you're going to want to meter things if you're trying to get off medications. You don't just cold turkey. You gradually introduce the herbal remedy and decrease the pharmaceutical, so that you don't throw yourself totally in outer space. Okay. If you have an amenable physician, this would be something, you know, that you could work with your physician with. That again that just depends on who your doctor is, whether or not they think you're loopy. Medications that slow blood clotting, like anticoagulants, antiplatelet drugs, this also does slow it. You know, it's like it acts kind of like a blood thinner. So again, if you're already on blood thinners, then you're going to want to balance that out. You're going to want to maybe decrease your blood thinner medication a little bit if you're going to introduce the goat rue as your blood thinner option. Again, cayenne pepper does that as well. So that's up to you. Let's see, what else do we do? One of the questions was, how long does it usually take for it to start working? And I'm gonna say this is pretty standard with most herbal introductions into your body. You want to give it 10 days to 2 weeks before you have any real high expectations, because it takes that long for your body to start recognizing that, hey, this is a good thing for me, and assimilate it and start utilizing it the way it's, you're wanting it to be used. So 10 days to 2 weeks before you start really starting to monitor, if it's working for you or not. Another cool thing about this, and here is one thing that I did find, 2 grams of the goat rue. And what I would recommend you do with this is, I would recommend that you dehydrate this, you dry it, and then crush it, like grind it, so it's kind of powdery. And then, or even as in the dry state, you can use it as an infusion, like a tea, or you could powder it and capsule it. You could do that too. but 2 grams in an infusion was what I noticed in my research seemed to be a common dosage. Okay, just so you know. And you don't have to take that all at once. You could do, 3 or 4 times a day. Break that 2 grams up into increments and do it like that if you wanted to. The hypoglycemic drug metformin is derived from galagine, which is naturally found in goat's root. So that's cool. I told you a long time ago, most of our pharmaceuticals originate with herbs, but these two have the same constituent that they're working with. That metformin they use the same galagine that's found in goat's root. Okay, the presence of some phytoestrogens mimic the action of estrogen, so that binds to the estrogen receptors in your body, so it is what helps you or whatever with milk production. So that's why that's working and how that's working. Dried flowers and aerial parts of the plant are used in quite a few different medicinal remedies. Again, don't use the root. Use the aerial parts. So you've got galagine, hydroxygalagine, guanidine, flavones, camphorol, and quercetin. They're all in goat root. So depending on, if you are on medications that, I can't believe I have so much of this stuff. If you're on medications that contain those constituents, those components, then you can find them all in goat root. All right. Okay, blood sugar is a big one. And let's see, what else can I find for you? Oh, it does have some weight loss agents. Studies have shown and revealed that regular intake of goat's root extract, along with a strict diet, whatever that is, significantly help in losing body fat. So my guess is it's that phytoestrogen, those are phytoestrogens that mimic estrogen. So especially for women like me that are, postmenopausal or whatever, and our bodies are still trying to figure it all out. I may try making myself some tea and drinking goat root tea for a while and see what I get. Can't hurt, right? Well, gosh darn. Sorry guys, I'm not sure what's going on here. I think I'm not propped up right. Let's just hang on a second. I have a slow connection. I hope everyone is seeing me okay. My phone's telling me I have a slow connection. What is going on here? There we go. Sorry, you're getting a good view of my room. All right, I'm not going to touch anything. Okay, stimulating lactation. Oh, back to the weight loss thing. Guanidine is a precursor to metformin. It works by suppressing the appetite and delaying hunger pains, which may help you consume fewer calories. I mean, if you've got those issues. But you know what else works for that? We learned this last time. Anybody know? Irish moss. Irish moss is great for helping you curb your appetite and feeling full. And it's so good for you. So that's why I included it in your detox. Anybody still drinking theirs? I am. I drink it pretty much every day in my protein shake. It also averts the storage of fat and increases fat burning. So it's going to probably rev up your metabolism a little. Like I said, I'm going to make myself some tea and drink it for a few days, and then I'll do a little post and let you guys know if I feel anything different or not. Stimulating lactation, we've already talked about that. Okay, here's another interesting thing. Prevents cancer. So why would you think it prevents cancer? Any guesses? I can tell you why. Because it has phytoestrogens in it, and phytoestrogens fight against cancer. But let's see what this says. Yep, I was right. The phytoestrogen function in goat's rue mimics an action. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. These phytoestrogens function as estrogen that shields against breast cancer and kills cancerous cells and prevents their spreading to other healthy cells. Furthermore, goat's rue is also effective in averting the growth and multiplication of tumor cells and impeding their formation. That's pretty huge. I mean, anytime that we can get the most bang for our buck, that's what we need to do. And that's why I said I feel like we've just been led to this little beauty. There's a reason that we need to pay attention to goat's rue this spring. It controls blood pressure. So let's see how and why it says it controls blood pressure. It lowers high blood pressure owing it to its antihypertensive action. Regular intake of this extract. Now, for those of you that don't know, an extract would be a tincture. Okay, a good strong one. Make it with 100 proof, and fill your jar 2/3 with it doesn't have to be dried herb. If you're going to make an extract, you can use fresh herb, and then fill it up with vodka or whatever, and give it about 3 weeks to make your extract. The leaves of this plant are packed with phytoestrogens. They function as estrogen that shields against breast cancer. Okay, we got that. Blood pressure. Regular intake of this extract relaxes the arteries and blood vessels, improving the blood flow through the body. Thus, this classic formulation helps in the management of uncontrolled blood pressure by easing the stiff blood vessels to normal blood pressure and relieve symptoms of hypertension. So those of you that are struggling with your blood pressure, and you know who you are, and you've been functioning fairly well on the regimen you've been doing, maybe you need to up your game a little bit and introduce some goat's rue into your routine. Traditionally, this herb was used to treat tuberculosis, rheumatism, bladder problems, but it's also being quite heavily looked at in cancer research. Stacy, share with Mom. That's awesome. I know some other people that need it, so spread the word. Go through, and it's everywhere right now, so you've got to get it while it's hot. I mean, if you guys were closer, I'd say come on up. I got a field of it. You can just come pick it. So I know if I've got it, you guys have got it too. Just look for it. Okay, some of the other folklore around it was that they used to use it. The Native Americans used to use it to kill insects, to like a natural insecticide, which is interesting because we're taking it internally. But we know that about things because we know that neem and diatomaceous earth and some of these other things are also good pest control agents. So maybe making up an infusion with goat's rue and try spraying, around some of your plants that you might be having issues with your bugs. See what happens. maybe it'll run them off. I am excited about this plant because I think, well, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try drinking the tea, and I'll go over the weekend. Like I said, if you guys want to go on Tuesday for another 3-day detox, then you need to let me know. And if you need the detox kit, let me know in the next 24 hours. You know, I can get to the post office before noon on Saturday. So I need to know between now and like Friday night, Saturday morning, so I can put the kits together and get them out if you need them. If not, we can shoot for May 7th, which is the new moon, and have, you know, have a good experience with that as well. Okay, so goat's root. Diabetes, pancreas, liver, blood cleanser, high blood pressure, lactation, what else did we talk about? Cancer, and I can't remember if there was anything else. Digestive problems, it says that it addresses digestive issues. It's got some good stuff in it. And the quercetin in there would make it, what, anti-inflammatory. So I think it's a win-win. I don't think you can go wrong with the goat's root, okay? And I'm not sure, like, those of you that are like in Idaho and up in that way, I know you're just now breaking into spring, but I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find this in like meadow areas and that kind of stuff. You just need it to get a little warmer. Not a lot warmer, because it's a springtime herb. It'll come out if it's not freezing or snowing. So as soon as you have a few good days, then venture out and look around and see if you can find it. Looks like this. Of course, I picked mine a couple hours ago, so but it stands tall, but it's, I don't know if you can see, it's real lacy and kind of curly and wispy. And then the flowers are this color. They're a purpley lavender color, okay? It's interesting how a lot of the spring flowers are that purple lavender color, isn't it? Like new life. Okay, let's talk about herb number 2. This one gets me excited as well. We're talking about wild violets. All right, wild violets are also out everywhere. You can find them in the woods. You can find them on the roadsides. I have them growing everywhere around my house. And these are edible just as is. They make a beautiful addition to your salad with your dandelions and chickweed and plantain you chop up and throw in your salad. Put some violets in there. We'll talk about some other fun uses of them in just a minute. Okay, the leaves, of course, these are a little wilted, but this is a good one. You can see they're heart-shaped. This is important, all right? Take a good look at this leaf. It's got a serrated edge, and it's a heart-shaped leaf, okay? Because there are a couple other species that have these heart-shaped leaves, but they're kind of a glossy, and they're not edible, okay? So you want to try to harvest your violets when the flowers are out, okay? That way you make sure that you get the right thing, because you can look at it and go, oh, look, this is a heart-shaped leaf. Well, this one's not so heart-shaped, but these must be the right violets, you know, because you use the aerial parts again. You're going to use the leaves and the flowers. And boy, wait till you hear what violets can do for you. You're going to be excited. Okay, it's a common plant. You can see them in lawns. You can see them in sidewalk cracks. Like I said, the woods is full of them. They grow pretty much everywhere. I always call them my birthday flowers, because my birthday it's right around my birthday that they start coming up. The leaves and the flowers, along with many other species, are edible and medicinal. All right. The Confederate violet is an escaped cultivated variety, and it's the one that has the white flowers, and that is not the one you want. You want the violet. Okay? Don't eat the white ones. Okay. There's the sweet violet. That's the one. That's what these are, and these are the principal medicinal and culinary species. You'll see a lot of these in Europe as well as in North America. Let's see. There's a lot. There's like 500 species of violets, and as long as they have the right shaped leaves and they're, you know what I mean, then most likely they're okay. But just to be on the safe side, stick with the purple ones. That's what I'm gonna say. We got plenty of those. They're safe. Oh, that's the other thing. Some of these leaves, some of the violet leaves that are out in the wild, they're gonna have like a soapy taste, and they might, when you taste them, they might like give you a weird feeling in your throat, because they have a lot of saponins in them, and I would avoid these kind, not these, but the kind that do that. You know, I don't know if you're like me, but a lot of times everything I see goes in my mouth. I figure one little bite's not going to kill me, unless it's hemlock, and I know what hemlock looks like. But I'll taste it, and the saponin ones are real soapy tasting, and they kind of give you a weird feeling, and you know you don't want that one. You avoid those. Instead, go for the milder tasting ones, because they're not going to have as many saponins. And saponins are fine. They're not going to kill you or anything, but they can give you a stomach ache. There's a lot of herbs that have a high saponin content, and you know, just like there's a lot that have a high tannin content too, which is that astringent, you know, makes you feel all puckery, sometimes shrivels up your mouth. There's nothing, it's not going to kill you or make you sick. It's just not pleasant. So there's plenty of pleasant, especially if you're wanting to pick violets to like serve in a salad or make some nice yummy butter with or something. You don't want the nasty ones. You want the sweet tasting mild ones. Okay. Identify the common species of the violet in your area and make sure it's edible. More than likely you have the common violet, the one that you want. Let's see if I have any. They'll start out with like a basil rosette, you know, kind of like mullein starts, you know, just like a little rosette close to the ground. And then they'll either spread out or they'll get a little taller or whatever. But that's how you can tell that that's a violet coming up, is it'll start low to the ground and kind of in a circular shape. You know, the leaves will be circular. And they're kind of, you know, like I said, the leaves have a toothed edge. See that? Okay, the flowers are, let's see. Children seem to have a special affinity for this charismatic group of plants, which I think is cute, because I always did. And my kids did. They would go out into the woods and they'd pick me bouquets of violets for my birthday and bring them in. And so we'd have these glasses of water with all these violets in it all around the house, because they would bring me presents. Okay, some of the edible uses. And I would recommend that you cut your violets with scissors, give them a haircut, and leave some, because the bees like them too. And we're trying to keep our bees around, so don't take them all. Also, there's a little secret about violets I'll tell you in a second. But you can put violets in soup. You can put them in, like I said, you can make violet honey, and infused vinegar, you know, all kinds of things with violets. But you don't want the roots, because the roots will make you sick. They'll kind of make you have a sick stomach. They bring on some nausea. But it's really good. Like the flowers and stuff are good chopped up and put in pesto. Okay, potato salad. You know, put some violets in your potato salad. Yeah. Okay, medicinal preparations using violets. Let's talk about infusions, which we know are teas, or a strong infusion if you wanted to make like an eye wash or something else, and I'll give you some ideas about that stuff in a second. Vinegars, poultices, compresses. You can do infused honey, make a syrup with them. You can make salves with them if you infuse oils. Okay, it's a demulcent, which means it's very soothing, like chickweed and some of those others. Mullein is the same way, a demulcent. It's an anti-inflammatory. Again, we're coming out of winter. We're now into spring. We're cleansing. We're getting rid of inflammation. Okay, we're lightening up. It's an expectorant, so it's a great addition to a cough syrup, or you know, your onion syrup. Put some violets in there. Okay, it's an alternative. Okay, it's a lymphagogue. It's great for cleansing the lymphatic system. Again, springtime herb. So you've got cleavers, you've got goat's rue, and you've got violets that'll all help to cleanse your lymphatic system and get all of that goo out of your lymph system and get you started clean and fresh. It's a vulnerary, so it helps promote wound healing. So that's where your compresses come in, and your poultices. Okay, so for that, I would, well, I mean, unless you were just going to pull fresh leaves, chew on them, and wrap something up with it, I would recommend a dried version that you could mix with olive oil or coconut oil or something else and pack a wound with it, or mix it with some of the other herbs that you know are very wound healing, maybe a little cayenne pepper. Okay, it's an anti-tumor herb. It is anti-rheumatic. It's a diuretic, and it's a mild laxative. So it's a very cooling herb, and demulcent means it's moistening. It's not astringent. It's not going to dry you out. It's going to do the opposite. Hi, Tina. Good to see you. It's a blood cleanser. It's a respiratory remedy. It's a lymphatic stimulant. You can use it as a tea or a syrup for any of those approaches. You can also just eat them. Okay. You would have to just, as far as a dosage, you know, start with, if you're going to do tea, start with 2 or 3 cups a day and see where you're at with that, and then, you know, go from there. Or if you're going to make it into an extract, maybe you might want to mix them. You might want to put them with some goat's rue and make an extract with both of them, depending on what you want to use it for. But it is safe for elderly people. It's safe for children. It's safe if you're taking pharmaceuticals. This is a people-friendly remedy. It's good for things like whooping cough. Added with like marshmallow root and licorice, you would have a really good tonic for bronchitis or whooping cough or anything like that. Also, the swollen lymph nodes, obviously, because you've got that lymphatic cleansing action going on. And again, it's another one that they're looking at for treatment of cancer. So you've got goat's rue and you've got violets that are both cancer approaches as well. it's got a good amount, the leaves have a good amount of mucilage in them, so you know, the soluble fiber, so you're going to lower your cholesterol. Anytime you have a soluble fiber, mucilagenic herb, leaf, whatever, you are going to lower cholesterol. It's similar to like eating oatmeal, okay? Same kind of thing. It also helps to restore your good gut flora, okay? And I don't know anybody right now in my life on any level that is not having trouble with that. So, listen up. It's beneficial bacteria feed off of this type of fiber. So, it's a good fiber. So, eat your violet leaves. I got a lot of them right now, so I'm going to go get some. Okay, high in vitamins A and C and rutin, okay, which is a glycoside, and a flavonoid, and the flavonoid quercetin. So again, we have goat's rue and violets. They go hand in hand. They're both prolific right now. Tell me there's not a God. Okay, I mean, it's really obvious to me that we're being provided what we need. Okay, let's see, what else can I tell you about violet? Oh, it's also good for varicose veins. All right, let's see what else. Rutin has been shown to be an antioxidant, an anti-inflammatory, and blood thinning. So we have goat's rue and violets that both thin blood. Coming out of winter into spring, thinning the blood, cleansing the lymphatic system. All right. And it's all, you know, like I said, it's a good remedy for varicose veins and hemorrhoids. So you could do an oil and make a salve with that. Rub the oil on your legs, put some cayenne pepper in it, and you got a winner. Okay, a poultice or a compress or an infused oil or a salve for any kind of dehydrated or dried chafed skin, abrasions, insect bites, eczema, varicose veins, hemorrhoids, all of those things. Okay, here's my little PS. Remember I told you that there's a little sneaky thing about violets? Well, they have this secret underground flower. That's why I told you, don't dig them up, cut them, okay? They never open up to the light of day. Those flowers are under there, but they never open up, and they still seed. So what happens is, and this is why you can have a violet patch, an ongoing violet patch, because you may cut the top stuff, but then underground they've got these flowers that never bloom, they just seed. So they're reseeding for the next year. Pretty cool, huh? I thought that was cool. Okay. And you know, I know so many people that go, these darn viney, flowery things, I'm getting them all out of my garden, and they go ripping all this stuff out. They'll rip out the chickweed, they'll rip out and it's like, no. That's all good stuff. Leave it there. Okay. They're edible, they're medicinal, they're prolific right now. Get out there, forage in the woods. I know you're going to find violets, and they're fairly easy to dry. They dry quickly, so that you can preserve them. Again, lowering your blood pressure. The salicylic, okay, this has salicylic acid. What else has salicylic acid? Willow bark. So what is this? A natural what? This is a natural pain reliever, like aspirin. Okay? It's found in the leaves. So it's great for inflammation. It's great for pain relief. It's also really good for acne, for warts, other fungal related ailments. So I was thinking the other day, I thought, I've had a couple of people approach me and they have like toenail fungus. They got some weird stuff going on. It's like, well, plantain's always good for that. And was out there, I thought, you could do a vinegar, a violet infused vinegar. That would probably be a great thing to put in a foot bath, to soak your feet in and get the fungus out. And just add the plantain into the vinegar as well. And maybe some black walnut tincture or something. And you've got yourself a pretty good little fungus fighter. Yeah. Extremely high in vitamin C. The mucilage is a good expectorant, but it's also good for what? It is a high fiber, so it's good for cholesterol. It's good for coughs, good for flus. Beneficial treatment of cancer, especially that of the throat, the tongue, and the lymph system. Violets. Detoxifies through supporting the liver and acts as a diuretic. Dissolves cysts and encourage lymph flow, especially beneficial for women during their cycle that can cause the lumpy, tender breasts. Okay? Violet tea during that time. Swelling, inflammation, pain, acne. So why would acne... Okay, acne is fungal. So, you would, and it's on the outside, but it's coming from the inside. So you need to treat acne internally as well as externally. Let me see if there's anything else that I can tell you about that will just make your day. Ooh, put it in lemonade. I thought that was a great idea. Makes you want to have a tea party, or some kind of fun spring event where you could have all this fun stuff. You could put the violets in ice cubes, in ice cube trays, so that when you put them in your lemonade or your tea, they're in there. Let's see what else. You could do the same thing with dandelions too. That would be fun. Have flower cubes in your drinks. Okay, violet infused oil. Use the dried leaves and the flowers. You can't use fresh with infusions of oil. You have to use dried. Okay? You can use fresh for an extract though. And then there's violet jelly, and there's I saw somewhere there was a violet butter. And they made it with the violet flowers and raw honey, and they mixed it all, whipped it all up into the butter, and then they molded it, and then they put it in the refrigerator and let it sit overnight. And then that sounds good too, doesn't it? Make some lemon scones and put that violet honey butter on them. So much for losing weight, right? Okay. Has an affinity for the lymphatic system and can promote healthy lymphatic function. Modern research is investigating its antimicrobial properties. So we got microbes on the radar now too. And it's very soothing. It's very anti-inflammatory. So I would say combine it with things like marshmallow and mullein and plantain, and you're gonna have some good summertime remedies. I like the cyst thing, because people are always coming to me with cysts, and I know black walnut treats cysts. What does that tell you about cysts? Because black walnut is an anti-parasite. But I'm telling you, it'll drop a wart off or a cyst. So what does that tell you about those? Parasitical. Okay, the leaf, okay. The infused oil of the leaf and then essential oil can be massaged into breast to maintain breast health. for breast cancer and cysts. Rich in vitamin A and C. Oh, I like this too. As a nutrition additive, add nettles, alfalfa, burdock to the mix, and you've got a powerful nutritional addition to protein shake or whatever. You've got good protein builders in with that. Put it in a salad. Ooh, violet ice cream. That sounds good. With goat milk. My goat milk. Sounds delicious. Make sure you leave some for the bees though, guys. Okay? We need our bees. They need the violets. Okay, oh, here's the butter recipe. A large handful of fresh violet flowers, a stick of organic butter, raw honey or maple syrup, and lemon zest. And you let the butter stand to room temperature till soft. Then you put it into a mixer. Add the butter and the violet flowers. Slowly add the honey or the syrup until well blended. Add the lemon zest, and then refrigerate it. Sounds really good, doesn't it? Oh, I like this. Somebody wrote this about violets, and they refer to them as a she. She's known for cleansing and helping to remove toxins from the blood. She's well known for helping to... Hush, babe. Just a minute. I gotta let the dog out. Can you go out? Come on. Okay. She's known for helping to soothe the respiratory system, digestive system, and urinary system when inflammation is causing issues and pain. She's also known for supporting the emotional heart when consumed or even just gazing at her. She's been used for her anti-cancer properties. She's helpful for dry, painful coughs like whooping cough. She supports the lymphatic system and can help with swollen lymph nodes, especially hard versus squishy. Hang on. I typed this up because I thought this was neat. She's known for helping to gently move the lymph and remove toxins from the blood. She can help support heart and circulatory health. She can help moisten the lungs and expel mucus, especially for dry respiratory issues like bronchitis, dry asthma, strep throat, and even dry allergic reactions. She has a good amount of calcium, magnesium, vitamin C, so she's definitely considered a nourishing herb or a nutritive. She can help with joint pain caused by inflammation due to her anti-inflammatory properties. Herbalist Matthew Wood states she is specifically wonderful for children with swollen glands, dry skin, and constipation. She's also known to help with cysts and tumors, which is why many herbalists note that her as an herb to look for preventing and possibly even helping treat breast cancer. Okay? So, I think we've covered pretty much all the... There's really no contraindications. There's no warnings about violets. It works fine with other, pharmaceuticals if you happen to be on or anything. There's just no downside to the violets. So you need to get outside and get yourself some violets before they're gone. Okay? And the goat's rue. Seriously, guys. If you are anywhere in my neighborhood and you want to come get some, I have a field of it. And it's as tall, it's over my knees. That's how tall it is. So I'm going to be out there this weekend whacking me down a bunch and drying it. But I've got plenty. And so we have very similar springtime herbs. Goat's rue is good for almost all the same things as violets, only violets cover a little more territory even, and they're pretty. So find these two and do something with them. if all else fails and you can't figure out what to do with them, at least get it and dry it, and then get a hold of me and I'll talk you through some things to do with it. But I don't know anybody that doesn't have some of this stuff wrong with them, whether it's digestion or lymphatic or skin stuff going on, or respiratory things, or blood pressure, or diabetes. The goat's root is really good for that. Blood thickening, blood thinning, blah blah blah. Okay, so, and we've got 2 right now. So I am super excited about hearing your goat root stories. Post it on the Facebook page, whatever you want to do, but find goat's root and find your violets this week. And if you want to do another 3-day cleanse with the full moon, that is the 23rd. That's Tuesday. So, oh, good for you, Tina. Good job. She's already dried her violets. But Tuesday is the full moon, so if you're needing kits for that, you need to get a hold of me within the next 24 hours or so. Let me know so I can get stuff shipped by noon on Saturday. You should have it by Tuesday. Or we will wait and we will go for the 7th, which is the new moon. Okay? So 23rd is a Tuesday. So it just depends on what, in fact, so is the 7th. So they're both on Tuesdays. I don't know how that worked out, but it just did. So let me know what you guys want to do, and I will work, I'll do it. I'll just do whatever I need to do so that we can spend those 3 days detoxing our bodies. And yeah, 3 days. So it'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And by then you'll have enough time to get some goat root and some violets together, and we'll add that to our tea regimen. That would be awesome. All right, I'm gonna dry mine, so I may actually add some to the blood cleansing tea that I have for the detoxing. Okay, Stacy said she's on board, so if anybody else wants to do that, let me know. Send me a text, send me a message, send me something and let me know, and we'll put our little detox group together on the, we'll get a text group together so we can let each other know what's going on. All right? I'm really glad to see everybody. Thanks for joining me. And next week, again, if you have any requests, if there's certain things you want to know about, or you want me to do a little research on, I will. Tina's skipping the detox. But I will be happy to do that for you guys. Okay? That's what I'm here for. So I love ya. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And I will see you next Thursday if we don't talk before then. All right? God bless, guys.